Greetings, everyone. Thank you for coming. Sorry we're late for the panel. We're trying to come back from lunch and grab all of our stuff, but we're here. It's similar. If anybody saw our panel from last year, somewhat similar to what we have, but some new additions as well. My name is Commodore Jason Davis, USS Masamune. My executive officer number one.
Jeanette Piazza.
Yeah, so thank you guys for coming today. So it's about costuming, specifically about Star Trek. So everybody has seen different costumes. There's different costume manufacturers over the years. Rubies, a lot of Chinese imports, some homemade from patterns by taking photos of the original costumes out at conventions or I guess at
Or
museums.
Just watching the movies,
the movies or at the museums will have the actual costumes there for display and stuff. So what we're going to show you is the differences and what costumes are available to us as a Star Trek fan to wear at conventions, summits, maybe even out in the general public if you wanted to. Our recruitment is a good thing because when you ever do a recruitment table, the best thing to pull people in is show up in costume. So
gotta look sharp.
If you don't have one, t-shirt is good, but costume helps a lot because that kind of basically the big selling point about being in a Star Trek club. You get to wear a cool costume or somewhat more cosplay a character to that particular era. So there's quite a few different eras: TOS, TNG, Enterprise, Discovery, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Lower Decks, Picard, I think Prodigy, the TOS animated series, but they're kind of the same as TOS. So all different flavors. So you get to pick from everything. So there's not, and you can pick Klingons, Gorn, and Dorians, different races, Borg, whatever you want to be. So we're going to share my experiences over the last 30 years of being in Trek. So this is my newest costume I had created because I have zero sewing skills, but this is the Wrath of Khan version of the costume. So different. You want to look, one of the books that came out that kind of helped with a lot of the manufacturers or people who wanted to create the costume is the cosplayers. Essential Guide shows you everything in great detail about how to create the monster.
What's the full name of it?
Cosplayer's Essential Guide, Volume 1, The Monster Maroon, and you get this on Amazon. And normally...
Put it to the camera so they can also see that one on... Yeah, so you can find that one on Amazon. Great book. I actually thumbed through it on my way up here. They go over materials, cuts, how to cut the fabric to get it out, you know, for all the seamstresses that are here. They talk about, you know, using freight check or, you know, anything like that. The materials that they're using for even the ornamentation. It's a really good book. So,
and that's the only book I ever seen that pick one particular costume and it's like, we're going to drill down to the stitch and to the fabric and to the threads, the boots, the ranks, on the back of my thing, the security device, which I had 3D printed because I couldn't find anything out there. It was like, okay, hey, can you 3D print this? Yeah. Then it glued it on, everything, and turned out perfect. So, but it talks about everything on particularly the Monster Maroon. So that's another great.
do they have other editions with different
Not yet.
uniforms?
Not yet. That's the one they've had so far and stuff. The only thing that's even close is the Star Trek costumes book. That'll show you in detail.
Should I see if I hold it up again for her?
You can
And
get
you know, we
this.
can pass these around so you guys can flip through them too.
And this usually retails for $60, but the detail of going through the costumes and everything is just mind-blowing, especially Klingons, things of that nature. So this is another great resource to try. There's patterns out there as well. Also on Facebook, there's various groups that you can join. I think 1701sd.com or something like that has a lot of material for costuming. And there's other groups. There's a Monster Maroon, 2 different Monster Maroon groups. There's a Star Trek costume selling Facebook page. Then there's the particular China import individual that a lot of people buy from.
Kozer Mart.
So that's what, it's cheap, it's affordable. I mean, doesn't look 100%, but pretty darn close and stuff. And she's been constantly putting out. And she always checks in with a lot of the people, and she'll put it out there and they'll say, well, this needs to be changed or this needs to be updated. You need to add this. And she'll go and add it, and it's pretty spot on for a lot of their costumes.
To you, yeah.
Yeah, so that's really good. So
and it's really affordable. It's not like top tier materials, you know. Like this is a Kozer Mart. You can see the dress is a little longer than it should be, but I kind of like it because I'm not like being so super self conscious, you know.
But I bought a couple of things that didn't fit, even though I thought my sizes matched to her chart. So
you can message them and give them your measurements, measure it out, and give it to them, and say I wasn't sure how your sizing chart worked, so I went ahead and measured it, and they'll recommend what size. And I did that with the with my lower decks, and it fits perfectly. Like I did not have to alter it at all. All my other ones I did a little bit, but I did not have to alter that one. And she made it specifically for women. Like
yes, they have women and men cuts. Because here's my lower decks. Red shirt. And I think most of these are like polyester.
Yeah.
I believe so. They're real stretchy, so they'll.
So you bend over, you know, I think it's got some give. I know there's some out there that just, they don't, so.
Yeah, we really don't want in Texas to have the actual worsted wool.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can see the difference, the male and female cut. So she does offer both.
And polyester's forgiving with wrinkles when you're packing.
Yes.
And that's the Picard.
That's the
That's the Picard
That's
era.
the Picard era.
She's already doing the season 2 as well. Like the various,
like that. I just don't want to.
and she just released the Flag Officer season 2, but those are not shipping till the end of July. So
When you say she, who is that?
Kozer Mart, she runs.
Kozer Mart,
Yeah,
okay.
she runs the. Her particular
I think they work
page.
out of California, but they also are.
She's from China,
from-
but she has a sister that lives in California. So sometimes if you do get something that comes up pretty quick, it's because her sister shipped it
Because she's already got it in stock.
in stock.
Yeah, if you look on eBay, if you check for them, you click U.S. location, it'll show all the stuff that's located in the California warehouse.
Yeah, so, and it's pretty good if you're looking, and like I said, costumes are really, I say, very important and viable if you are going to do a recruitment table or any type of table in the general public. You're wanting to get people into your fan group. You want to make sure that if you do, make sure it's clean, ironed, probably no dog or cat hair on it, and it's not like you just pull it out of the bag and just slap it on. It's like,
You are representing the organization, you want to make it look good.
yes, and these are the Tng Pants. And they have the cut, the boot cut down the middle.
Little slice in the center.
Yes. So these are really great. I love these pants. I do have the DS9 jumpsuit, so if you
She
wanna-
makes the women's version too for the jumpsuit, the full jumpsuit. It's not like the pants and the shirt like guys wear. She makes the full set with the zipper in the back.
either or, male or female.
Yeah.
Or if you don't feel like doing that, she does offer the 2-piece as well. Or if you can't afford the whole thing, it's like, let's get you a top and buy you some black pants and some.
And what
Black
do they run? They
boots and
run like
shoes.
$40 or something like that.
Yeah, with
Around
shipping.
there.
So it's still reasonable versus, say, what I'm probably wearing, which is a higher tier cost. But I have more costumes than this, as far as the Star Trek, which I didn't bring all of them. But if you're looking, you first have to decide what era you want to live in, what era you want to display, as far as going to conventions, Starfleet events, or your local, if you're doing a blood drive or a walk. That's the thing too. You probably, if you're doing a walk in Texas, you probably don't want to wear what I'm wearing. So you probably want to do shorts and a t-shirt, or however your commanding officers decide how they want you to dress for the, for whatever particular event. But definitely recruitment table, have a good uniform, have it clean, have it pressed, however you want to do it, because you're putting your best foot forward and putting it out there to the general public. Hey Ken, I know you're a Star Trek fan, come join us.
And not just the uniform, but also your appearance. You want to make your appearance look sharp too. You don't want to show up with stubble or anything like that. Try to,
Don't want to look like the hobo down the street.
Yeah.
So, but find out what era you want to, what costume you want to, wear. Okay, I want to do an Enterprise jumpsuit, or I want to do a Wrath of Khan costume. Okay, what budget? It boils down to budget. Where do you want to be? You want to spend $50-$60? Do you want to spend $1,200? So you got to decide that. Then you're like, okay, well, here's the resources. I went to the Region 3 page. There's a resource page that has costumes from every era. Here's where I can find the tips. If you are lost or have a question, then just message us, email us, whatever. We're more than happy. She's more of the sewing side of the costuming that we do. I'm more of the generalized, here, this is where you can get it. This is how you can purchase it. Why? What about this one eBay seller? Probably, did you check and make sure how close, how accurate you want to be? You want to be 100% accurate? Okay, well, you want to go to this vendor on Etsy and get these pips and not the $1.50 pips that you see on eBay. So it all depends on the accuracy. So fan sets have been doing a lot of the most accurate badges. There's some other people out there as well.
Fan sets is right now sold out of a lot of them, and they can't tell you when they're
Exactly.
getting
That's
more
because
in.
they were at Star Trek Mission and they just couldn't keep anything on the table because they were just flying off the table. So I grabbed everything I could get of what I needed for costumes.
Yeah,
So.
because I was trying to buy another a com badge for Picard era, and they're out, and I have no idea when they'd be coming back in.
And they're awesome. They're about the same size of what we see on the screen used ones as well. And you have lower decks,
Right?
the Picard.
Is that Picard?
That's Picard. And some of them I've come across over the years, I've hung on to some of the badges and stuff. This is one, a homemade next gen one that had Velcro on the back. So I know I do not like the stick pins because it messes up the costume and destroys it. But you can use Velcro, or now that we've gotten a little further down the road with the evolution of costuming, magnets. So a lot of the fan sets are magnets. A lot of the stuff on Etsy is all magnets, especially with the rank badges, because all you have to do is just, okay, well, I'm just a lieutenant, then I can just slap another one on. I'm lieutenant commander. So same thing with
What's the piece of corn?
exactly. So I easily, and if you do lose a magnet, or if you're using the individual ones, I know on Amazon, I bought like 100 pack of magnets. So you're always ready for emergency, because
They do fall out.
yeah. So and
Oh,
always
yeah.
ready.
That's another thing.
Always-
Always carry some glue and some like a little repair kit with you.
Yes,
'Cause-
like your
Extra magnets.
Yeah.
glue,
Yeah.
scissors, tape,
You've
just
been
about
there,
anything.
obviously.
'Cause I've had the soles of my boots fall out once at a convention and didn't have another pair. So, but having glue was like, it's like a quick fix. So, yeah, just be prepared because things happen.
And I think research is a key, especially if you're looking for a specific costume, or if there's nothing specific like in one of the books or whatever. I've had to go to look at screenshots from Next Generation for a particular. Oh, okay, they wear their pips in a certain area, or they have something that's specific to that costume. So okay, I want to make sure. Some people are like to be movie accurate, and some people are like, okay, just casual cosplayer, but at least have pressed, cleaned, no dog hair all over the place, or nice to present to the general public when you're trying to rope everybody in to come join the club, that you want to be able to present in a nice fashion. Is there anything I missed or we can talk about?
Do you all have any questions, like any other questions on where to get them or how to get the costumes or anything like that? Or any sewing questions? No?
No, sir. 30
I'll
minutes.
edit myself out of this. Once this panel's done and it's uploaded, I'll put links to all the different costume vendors and Facebook groups in it.
Yeah.
So anyone who wants to go and just directly start researching on their own, they'll be able to do that.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Word document I have is on the Quartermaster's page, I believe, maybe on file or something. I know they posted it to the website, and I think they posted it to the Facebook
Yeah, you
page.
did.
So, but
I'm not sure.
if not, if you're wanting the document, I'm more than happy to
Does
send it to you.
our like page for the Masamune have it, or is
No.
it just the private group?
This is private group, so I can send it out to you if you're wanting all the costume links. I try to put everything I could think of for different eras and pips and the badges as well. So it's just mainly the on the Starfleet side. So, but if you're looking for something particular like Gorn, Klingon and stuff, you might want to check the other fan groups. I know the Klingon groups. Klingons, you probably can talk to them where, hey, where do I get this headpiece, or where do I get the kind of like Worf battle sash or things of that nature. Check with them; they'll have a pretty good link and stuff. But I try to put everything out there as far as, hey, I want to do the Enterprise Jumpsuit, but I'm looking for the little rank pips. Like, hey, it's right on that document. Just click it; it'll take you there and stuff. So, but research is the key. Just go to Facebook page. Go to look up for a particular site, say, the Star Trek uniform, and you can hit the Kozer Mart's particular page, and everybody's very helpful, especially when it comes to measurements. It's like, well, her chart says this, and I think I'm a large, but I'm a medium. You can post out there. Everybody's really nice. I haven't seen any derogatory comments or anything of any sort on any of the,
Nothing like that.
on any of the Facebook pages.
Even the reviews, like some who have bought a costume from her, they would post pictures of them wearing it and say, oh, well, this is what I love about it, this is what I don't love about it, just FYI. Maybe order a size up because it's a little snug, So they've been really very helpful on that.
Especially the review of the new jumpsuits you put out. What do you think of the jumpsuit, Ken?
That new Enterprise jumpsuit is absolutely fantastic. Sizing is a little awkward,
It's kind of wonky, yeah.
but the quality of it, I was blown away
Really
with it.
nice.
This is the blue Enterprise?
Yes.
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 The blue
I've
Enterprise
bought-
jumps.
I've
It
bought-
looks more like a flight suit.
Yes.
It does,
Yes.
yes.
I bought two prior to that, and we have a mannequin guy. We call him Wet Willie. So we put the costume on Wet Willie, and it's horrible. At least I got my money back from eBay, thank God. But the stuff is paper thin, and they look like they use ribbon.
It's like that windbreaker
Yeah.
material,
It is.
Yeah.
and it's just like one layer of it. I mean, you snag that thing on a door, it's gonna rip.
And
Oh my goodness.
you don't
Yes.
know sometimes. If the picture looks like this,
They
but
have
when
to
you get
bag.
it in the mail, it was completely different, and I was kind of upset about that. But then I bought another one that's kind of in between the windbreaker and Kozer Mart's, and it worked pretty good. Not 100%, but it was a little thinner. But I was in an accident. That thing just ripped all the way across. It just busted open.
Oh.
So, but the new one, it's like almost like coveralls.
Yeah.
Almost
Yes.
exactly like what you see on the show, and seeing the pictures, the reviews from other people, it looks amazing. It looked like they just stepped off the ship. So she does exceptionally well. I mean, it's not 100% because of, I guess, the cost of material in China. I mean, if you look at this versus what's on the TNG show, it's completely different. But it's cut the same. It looks the same. So I mean, definitely not gonna complain about doing that costume.
It'll pass the 10-foot rule. Looks great at 10 feet.
Right.
Yes.
Hey, I like that.
Yes.
Well, what about, have you seen any of the newer ones, like from Strange New World, that has that fabric that's printed with the Delta shield?
Yeah, I went to.
That's going to be really tricky if you tried to make your own. Where do you get, like, where should you find the
She makes
fabric?
them.
She makes
and
them.
reproducing that may be difficult.
And it's not 100%, but here it's the same way when they did Picard. They put deltas in the material. So her first set was just plain red. So the second set she made, there's actually deltas in the material. So that's what she's
And
done.
it's the same with the Discovery ones, the first one, the season 1. And she had, I guess, screen printed the gold deltas that come around here. And they look really decent, you know. Again, people were happy with the results.
But if you go look on her page, she already has links for all the Strange New World costumes. Season 2 Picard, the Enterprise Jumpsuit. And every once in a while she'll post the pips and sometimes maybe a phaser or something unusual on her page. And click it, it'll take you to the eBay page, purchase it there, and I'd say maybe the jumpsuit almost took 2 months because it's so new, but now I think it's roughly about a month for everything coming from China to here. Or it's like quicker, she already has it in California and it gets shipped to you directly. So she's one of the high reputable individuals that you probably want to buy for. And as far as cost, that's the best cost option.
Is she the one that you can custom anything with? Custom order? Or
I
is
don't
it just
think you
specific
can-
items?
No, it's just specific items right now because people do submit recommendations.
Okay.
Like, could you make this? And they would show pictures of a specific character that they've seen. Or like, the most obscure one was the black jacket that Picard wears in the most recent season. It's like a black leather jacket. And somebody took a screenshot and posted it to the group saying, would it be possible to start making some of these? And usually they'll give an answer like, I can send it out to my seamstress, to the tailors, and see what they can do. Or, you know, if they couldn't do it, they'll say, well, we couldn't get access to material, something like that. She's really helpful.
She has tons of costumes, so that's an option. There are other,
She's got for other things too, like other shows and stuff like that. So if you go to their store, there's a lot of stuff they've got.
there's Star Wars and
Yeah.
all type of anime and stuff like that. So, but eBay's one shop, one place you can get stuff. Etsy, you can always look on Etsy because there are some Etsy vendors that sell a lot of accessories. So that's where I've bought a lot of the pips and things. Fansets has, the magnets, and eBay has them as well. So if you have questions about the products, I would just email the individual and they'll be more than happy to answer you and say, well, this is this or that, or how it's made, or usually put in the comments how it's made. But if it's something specific, just ask them. And then if you have questions as well, you can always ask me or Jeanette, like, well, I'm looking for this. Do you have a particular vendor that people use? We're more than happy to send it. Like, oh yeah, here's the link where you can buy from. Or I'm not sure, but at least I can point you in the right direction. And versus just shrugging, I don't know. And I hate doing that to people. It's like, but I'll try to at least get you an answer. Like, buy it here, or this is the person you probably want to talk to and stuff. So, but if you have any other questions, for chance.
What about things like makeup? Like being able to do.
I don't know about
So what about makeup?
Well, like doing like an Andorian. How do you find like blue?
Well, I've tried a few different makeups. Right now, the one I like the most is company Mehron, Mehron. You'll find them on, they've got Amazon, some of the products on Amazon, but they do, it's like a cake makeup that you take a sponge with some water and you wet it down and you put it on. And that one's nice because it dries. It's not like grease paint where it's going to rub off on your uniform and stuff like that. You put it on before you put your uniform. It dries and it lasts a good while. So that's been my favorite so far to use. And that's Mehron or however they say it. Mehron.
Okay.
And you can usually get the Andorian antennas off Etsy. I've seen them on there as well. Some of the Klingon headpieces I found on there as well.
There's also a product, it's called Dermaflage, which is actually a silicone that you can get it on Amazon. You mix two things together and you can select different skin tones so you can get something that's close to yours when you have your makeup on. But if you want to do, with the lines across here, and who is she on DS9?
Bajoran?
Yeah.
Bajoran, sorry, yeah. If you want to do something like that, it's easy to make those, and it's actually 3D. Yeah, so there's all
Okay.
kinds of kind of synthetic stuff like that you can buy too that's safe for your skin.
Just a little spirit gum. Again, Mehron makes a spirit gum that's pretty decent. And it comes in a big bottle, like usually you get little tiny ones, but they've got a bigger size bottle. I've had pretty good luck with it. I glued down some Spock ears and they lasted all day. So, and you don't need the spirit gum remover for that one. It kind of just peels right off. So it's not like the traditional stuff where it's like, it just seals on you. This one, it holds pretty well and you can take it off pretty easily. So I like those two. And it's like with the Klingons, they put a little there. It hasn't really affected my skin. I would say do a skin test on anything that you use, just to make sure you're not allergic to any of the ingredients. Because I've seen some people have reactions to things. It can get pretty bad, like.
Especially if you cover your entire.
Yeah.
If you're going to be an Orion slave girl, that's tons of
It's a lot.
green
Body
paint.
makeup.
Yes. So always check, especially check with a vendor. Check in the side headings or something that may before you buy it, because it might say, oh, it has a certain product in there that you may be allergic to. And like you said, do a screen, do something
Do a
somewhere.
skin test.
Probably want to do it like right on your face, but somewhere, okay, it'll work. Then you can go and try it out with the makeup on and whatnot. So, but definitely Amazon you can get stuff. eBay you can get costumes, some accessories.
You know what else? Twinkle Lens puts out great contact lenses. So I have, when I do my, sorry, I am so tired right now. I just can't even. My
I understand.
Deanna Troy black eyes. So I get contacts. They are black. You can get ones that are completely black. You can't see very well. And unfortunately, with my blue eyes, when I get the ones that are buyer beware, if you do those contacts, they have ones that have a smaller hole in the middle for your pupil or a larger one, so go for the smaller one if you have light eyes. If you're brown, you don't notice it that much, but they actually make your eyes black, like your eyes look like they're, yeah. So it's just a great extra
They
piece
probably
of,
make contacts that will, like, if someone wanted to do data.
yes, but they've got all kinds of stuff, and it's called Twinkle Lens, and they're like $10 for a pair of it's
No,
not
it's not bad.
expensive.
Oh, that's not
So,
bad at all.
yeah.
What else? Does anybody 3D print? Or do any of that
Husband
stuff? I do some of the work, like I do pips and things like that if I need them on the fly. Thingiverse.com, they've got a few free files. They have the phaser files and everything like that. So if you're really handy, crafty, or get somebody to do it for you, you can make the phasers and things like that. And they're pretty decent quality. The ones I've printed have been pretty decent. I just have to do a lot of sanding, filing, and cleaning them up, but it's produced some really good, interesting props to add to your
Okay.
wardrobe.
And talking about props, you want to make sure that if you are doing a table or whatnot, and you have props, or you decide you want to carry X, Y, Z, but then obviously I highly suggest whatever the current situation overall in our society is, or at the moment, you probably don't want to be carrying a rifle or a pistol, whatever, since the Uvalde thing happened. So I know on the Star Wars side, no one's allowed to carry any type of blaster or anything like that. So that's
And some conventions are not letting you carry, like there's a recurring event in San Antonio, and the lady that organizes them, she said no fake weapons, nothing, they don't want any of that, so just keep that in mind when you go to an event.
Yeah, you could use communicators or
Yeah.
tricorders,
Tricorders,
yes,
but no phasers.
no phaser, blaster,
Batlets,
rifle,
no
no
batlets.
batlets,
no,
definitely no batlets.
don't want to lose an eye.
Yeah.
So, but make sure you check with your CO or wherever the point of contact is on your.
Most of the
Doing
cons will
events.
have that posted on their website or something.
Exactly.
They'll mention, what is allowed and what isn't for weapons, or where you need to check in with them, or sometimes they
I
just
know.
need to be inspected.
Yeah, I know. I try to refer back. I mean, we're all fan groups. I know on the 501st side, they've put it out to the general public. No phasers, blasters, whatever, until further notice. So everybody listen to that, and then when it's safe again, they'll post, okay, you can take your blaster rifle. But if you do take anything, don't point it at anybody. Don't stick it in their face. Don't do anything. It's, not
Be safe with it.
PC about, yeah. So, and stuff, so.
What I usually tell new members who may not want to spend a lot of money is get your own pair of black pants. Just wear regular black pants that you own, or Dickies, or there's another brand too that works well. But and then just get a top
Yes.
from
yes,
one of the vendors off of eBay, because you could get good tops for less than $30, 20, or even less than 20 in some cases.
Yeah.
And that's a good place to start. And then once they start wearing it, and then they want something else or something more, then they can start building the wardrobe or getting the custom made kinds of things later. But just
Yeah.
getting them into a basic something to start with, wear your own black pants, and then just get a top, and that is a good entry point for new people that don't want to spend a lot
Oh,
until they
exactly.
see if they're really going to wear it or use it.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
just,
blame them.
like you said, then it's like, okay, well, I like his costume, maybe I can spend a little bit more and look a little sharper and stuff. So I just get, like you said, get them into the door and just kind of just move them on. Like, oh yeah, here's this, that, and there's a whole world that you can go in costuming. If you like to sew, hey, you can, find your pattern or look in one of the books and like, I'm gonna sew it. So that's always, there's always option for you. You're not just stuck with one. So, anything else?
And you mentioned kids' costumes. Does anybody know what they're doing?
I've been using, because it's for kids and I'm not gonna spend a lot of money and they're gonna outgrow them. I've honestly been using the Rosie, what is that one?
The rubies?
Rubies.
Rubies,
Rubies.
Halloween costumes.
Yeah, Halloween
Yeah,
costumes
Halloween
from
Yeah,
Party
Halloween
City.
costumes
you
for
know.
kids.
Online on Amazon is where I found most of them, but they'll run you, $30 around there. And right now they've got a lot of the Kelvin timeline uniforms, because that's really popular. So I've gotten him, a couple of those. And again, just for his pants, some of them come with pants, some of them didn't. So I just got a pair of pajama pants for them. Because again, their kids are going to be running around. You want anything to...
Yeah.
You don't want to spend a lot to get messed up. Yeah.
Sure, and it's better to outgrow it. I mean, you can check Etsy as well, just like, Star Trek kid costume, or you want to be real specific when you type it in, so you can pull up versus sometimes make it generic, then you got 30 pages to go to find whatever specific you're looking for. But Etsy is a great place because I found a lot of accessories and people making custom costumes for for you if you're looking like, well, I don't want something off the rack, I want to have custom made for me. So you just talk to the person that's the seller and you can send in their all your, measurements, and they can be able to get a custom costume, because that's what I did with this one. I sent them all the measurements, and I think it came out pretty good, I think.
And speaking of measurements, get yourself one of those measuring tapes, those fabric ones that seamstresses use. It's always good to have a couple of those on hand. Know where to take the measurements. It's different for men and women, and know what's the difference between a waist and a hip measurement. There's all kinds of charts. Just Google it. Google the charts, how to measure, measurement charts. And I put measurement charts for women, and it'll tell you, what the inseam, how to measure your inseam, how to measure your top size, things like that.
If you don't want to do that, you can go to a tailor. Usually they're at the cleaning place, they do alterations and stuff, and you can just ask them. There have been times, I've done it twice, I physically went in, hey, I'm looking to get a costume, something done, can you measure me? And they'll write down all the measurements, and normally 99.9% of the time won't charge you for it. So if you're not comfortable doing it yourself, just go to a tailor, and all the alterations will do it for you.
Just don't change sizes.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's the trick now, isn't it?
What used to be.
Yeah, right?
I'd have to lay off the tacos. That's the thing. So, anything else? We'll get ready to cut this panel to a close. I want to thank everybody that's come to join us today. I greatly appreciate it. It wasn't for you guys asking for costuming references or where to get them or anything about costuming. It was thank you guys for asking and wanting us to be here. So you guys have a great day, and you can I can email it to you directly too as well, so it has all the links for what you need. So just find us and we'll make sure we get that to you.
Thank you, Jason.
Oh,
Thank you,
you're very
Jeanette.
welcome.
Appreciate it so much.